Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, new outfit. Executive Captain in the virtual world for Delta Virtual. Yes, if you would, how about considering coming and flying with me at deltavirtual.org. We have a great crew, a great staff, and we are just developing and evolving every day. Come see what we're doing. That's deltavirtual.org. Well, as you can see, I'm showing an aircraft, but this video is not exactly about the aircraft today. Today, I'm going to do something out of the ordinary. I'm going to give you a video about a real-world event that took place last night at approximately 11:42 Central Standard Time, PM. I was flying in the virtual world in my Airfoil Labs Cessna 172 NG from Tulsa Riverside to Fort Smith, Arkansas, KFSM. As I was approaching between Fayetteville and KFSM, I was listening to live ATC, which I do quite often if I'm not flying for the airline or something like that. Just chatter in the background, I guess you could say. But I enjoy listening to it. So anyway, as I was flying along, I hear in the real world Memphis Center talking to an Envoy flight that apparently came out of Dallas that was going to be landing at XNA, which that is Fayetteville, Arkansas. And the airport code is Kilo X-Ray November Alpha. But anyway, this Envoy plane was approximately 15 to 18 minutes out of Fayetteville, out of XNA. And I was listening to the conversation between Memphis Center and Envoy pilots, and there was a bit of a problem. XNA had a NOTAM showing that the airport would be closed at 1200 Zulu for repainting the runway lines. And I don't know who didn't get the memo, but even in the virtual world, we check NOTAMs. You check your NOTAMs for the airport that you're at, and you check the NOTAMs for the airport in which you are going to. Not to mention weather and other factors along the way. But apparently somebody missed the NOTAM that airport was going to be closed, that XNA was going to be shut down by the time Envoy arrived with its passengers. Well, it got to be about 15 minutes out, and Memphis Center was telling Envoy that, hey, we need a decision here because the airport is closing literally in seconds, just seconds away, and that airport is going to be no longer available to you. Now, the flight from, if it came from DFW, I'm not exactly sure where it came from, but anyway, I'm kind of guessing that it was a DFW flight to XNA. But anyhow, let's just say that it did come from DFW. That would mean that they were only approximately, if even, halfway between the two airports. They could have easily turned around and went back to DFW and gave their passengers a really nice place to gripe at them with food, hotel, so forth, rental cars, all that good stuff. But Instead, it kept going, and they kept proceeding, and finally it got down to the point to where Memphis Center told them, hey, are you talking to your company on the ground? We've contacted the airport. They're definitely not opening the airport back up. The crew is out there working now. So we need a decision. Are you going to your alternate or what? So ultimately what it came down to is Envoy went to their alternate. They went to Springfield, Missouri, which that's not a very big airport, basically just like a little regional airport. So I'm not sure what accommodations were there for their passengers, how comfy they were, but I can imagine that they were not very happy. So the question is here, who dropped the ball on this whole situation? Memphis Center knew that the NOTAMs were there. The airport definitely had the NOTAMs out. So I spoke earlier today with the COO of XNA, and we discussed the situation, and he said that the airport actually closes at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time every night, and but they actually had kept it open 30 minutes past last night. But then they had to close it. The crew was there to do their work, and the NOTAMs were out. There was no reason for anybody to not know that that airport was no longer going to be available. And after talking with him, I thanked him for his time. He was very polite, very nice gentleman. Me, I'm a nobody, got my little YouTube channel here with a few followers, but watching a lot of people watch my videos, and that's great. That's wonderful. I just wish I could get you guys to subscribe more. Please, please, I can't get anywhere without subscription. Hit the subscribe, clink that notification bell, so next time one of my videos comes up, you will be notified. You will know that I put something out. Anyway, really like to hear your comments on this real world event, and who you think is a responsible party for the whole situation. I can already tell you it was definitely not XNA. I mean, they went through all the proper procedures. So I'm thinking somewhere along the way, before that plane took off, somebody didn't see something. Whether it was Envoys, however they handled the situation, I'm not real sure. If they're ground people, and I'm not saying ground crew people, I'm saying operations type ground people, pass on the information to their pilots or whatever, or how the crew, captain, first officer on that plane, I believe it, I'm not exactly sure what type of aircraft it was. I know it's just a regional jet type thing. So there'd only be a captain and a first officer. So I'm not sure who would be checking that, or if they just rely on company to give them that information. But anyhow, your comments would be very interesting to read on this, and that's why I decided to do this video, because I did a little investigative reporting of my own today, because I've seen absolutely nothing about it in the real news world. So I thought I'd throw it out there to my viewers and get some comments and some feedback and just see what y'all happen to think about it all. So with that in mind, everyone have a great, wonderful flying time. May you have blue skies and tailwinds, as a friend of mine named John always says at the end of his statements. But I will see you again soon with a new recording of a plane in the virtual world. See ya.